Hello, this is Sudhakar Moparthi. Welcome to Crowdsourced UI project. Today I'm going to show you how to import a JSON and make the machine understand the model. So when we model things, uh, we understand that, and that model can be imported into the system, and that structure can be maintained in the system. Now, anybody who accesses that model, they simply have to understand those connections. That's what we have been seeing. So let's see an example using SKillbanc App. Let me share my screen. Okay, so this is an example of a JSON. This JSON, what is this? Example policy that allows creating, updating, deleting, listing, getting, and setting the default versions of all policies. So basically, these are all the actions that are allowed and on all the resources, and this policy can be imported. So I just want to show this object, this the relationship that it has. The statement, the policy statement has effect, actions, array, and the resources. Star indicates all. So let's copy this. Go to SKillbanc App. So I'm going to create a new policy. I will say access to manage policies. That's the policy. Okay, and I want to create a policy document for that. Policy document. So I just copy paste it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prefix these things with AWS so that in SKillbanc all entities have to be unique. So AWS makes that prefix makes it unique so that we can use those generic. We try to avoid generic words unless they are essential. So we'll see in a minute this structure. Okay, so hope it imports. We just coded that importing any JSON. We tested it. Let's see. Import the JSON. Okay, click OK to cancel stop the JSON. Okay. All right, let me refresh. Okay, I got a statement. Okay, and that I got an action. Okay, so basically, visually, we're going to show this same information. So this policy document has, okay, AWS version, okay, 2012 and 17. Okay, it imported that. And then it put a statement object. In that statement object, let's edit that. We should see effect as allow. Yes, that we put that. AWS action, so it should put an array. So if I open this, okay, there's one more. AWS resource. Okay, let's see if I have that. AWS resource. Oh, that's under AWS statement. Okay, so let's go inside AWS statement. Okay, you have an AWS resource star, then AWS statement, AWS SID, principal action. Okay, so these are all the actions: affect, allow, actions, default policy version, list policies, all these things. Okay, so basically, we are able to visually represent the same object, and then I can navigate. So as I'm interacting with this, so now if I want to see all the actions, so all the actions will be accumulating here. So now I can make them searchable or pick. So let's see. Make all actions searchable. Approve. This is a rule that I'm defining, that they're all searchable. Then I'm also going to make a pick list so that you can select pick list, all actions. So basically it's like a lookup table of all the actions. As we import these JSONs, as we understand the documentation of various services and what properties to put in, all that. So we'll be accumulating these objects in the appropriate logical space. And I just want to show you guys how it works. AWS Actions. Okay, so I can search, for example, list policy versions, I can search any of these things. Then let's see what is a pick list. Okay, so these are the ones that we just created, and this is the one that it has earlier action. So now if you need to know what are all the AWS actions that we can have, as we are importing from here and there, they all get accumulated. Now next time you don't have to remember all these things. Okay, so you just have to pick. So that's the whole idea. So nothing much. All they are doing is they're just maintaining a whole bunch of tables and this data that is in the format of a JSON. When you submit to AWS or you attach that policy document, that JSON, to a resource, they are also storing somewhere, and then they are parsing that, and then they are implementing uh, the access control based on this policy. So they just basically make it make your life easy by giving all these things implemented in the on the AWS in the AWS cloud. And all we need to know is how to configure all this infrastructure. And in the future, we will see how programmatically you can provision these things, how you can, using CloudFormation scripts, you can control the provisioning of these resources and access. Okay. And yeah, that's all I want to show, that we can import basically any policy document JSON into SKillbanc app, and then visualize and accumulate all these action objects, statement objects, and so that when tomorrow when I need to define one more policy, I can use my pick list or search to pick a few statements from here, few statements from there, and then I can mix and match, and I can create my new JSON very easily. So basically, You can think of it as building a JSON uh, um, visually, or without remembering all those values and copy paste. And you just do it using a UI. So you will see in the future, um, there should be in an enterprise, in any enterprise, there should be a one system in such a way that it doesn't have to do anything. It just have to do manage all the other services. Okay, and then so it is like an integrating system. So it should keep track of all the other systems out there. It should be able to tell the impact if we change this, if we change that, what is the impact in on the other systems. And such a system would be very helpful. So I'm just trying to demonstrate that SKillbanc app is an app that is abstracted, so which we can simulate all these other systems, and we can describe here for understanding purposes, and then using this data, if we write some adapters to talk to the individual services and push this metadata or data into those systems, then programmatically we can control the configurations of that other systems. In this case, we are trying to integrate with AWS, using AWS APIs. And first of all, we are trying to understand. That's why we deliberately not going into the AWS console and doing all these things, configuring and all. We just want to understand everything from a theoretical point of view with practical code snippets and programmatically, because nobody in a large enterprise maintains does these things using just the console. I mean, you may get started with console and then you will configure certain things, but all those infrastructure should be maintained as code, and maintain and then execute um, programmatically. You don't want to keep messing with doing these things manually. Anyway, so just to conclude, any JSON can be imported to the app and visually shown. So we took an example of a policy document object, and so a policy document object consists of a bunch of one or more statements, and each statement will have an actions list, what resources, all resources. That star indicates all the resources, and these are all the actions that they can perform, allowed. That's it. Okay, so that's it for today. So just to reiterate, if you are interested in such automation, integrating other AIs and other services from other companies into a single place, so that you ask the system to do something, and it should be doing all those things and reporting for you. So crowdsourced AI, so which means you will be writing adapters as part of this project. All right. So please get in touch with me through LinkedIn, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye bye.